The history of dinosaurs is a fascinating one, as everyone probably knows already. They came in all different shapes and sizes and colors and everything. Some look like that, others like this. A few of them even look like that. Some might even look like that. These funny little guys have held my attention for what seems like forever. The first books my mom bought me were dinosaur themed. Hell, one of my first words was T-Rex. But nowadays, when I'm more knowledgeable on dinosaurs, one thing interests me a lot. What happened to all the Serbian dinosaurs, and where did they go? More specifically, my question is, what happened to them? Why isn't there any here? Like, Serbia is a relatively fossil-rich country for being in the middle of nowhere and very small. A bunch of different mammal fossils have been found here. Stuff like the Ankylotherium, the cave bear, the Micromeryx, the European ice leopard, a bunch of other ones, including an extinct genus of hominids called Geopithecus. So there's so many fossils, you'd expect there to be at least a few dinosaur ones, but with the exceptional one, there really isn't anything to be found. So today I plan on answering why that's the case and talking about the ones that did live here. To answer this question, we have to go all the way back to the Triassic period, more specifically, right after the Permian-Triassic extinction event. During that time, life in general was very uncommon on account of the whole mass extinction thing. Dinosaurs first started appearing around 243 million years ago. 40 million years after that, we get the first Serbian dinosaur, the very lovely Phycodontosaurus. It was a relatively small herbivore that lived between 206 and 201 million years ago. It inhabited the general European area, and it indeed did live in Serbia. But the thing, dear viewer, is I haven't been fully honest with you. I said previously that Serbia was a fossil-rich area, and that is true. And I did say there's a bunch of mammal fossils, which is also true. But the thing is, a vast majority of the fossils found in Serbia are marine fossils. Ammonite, squid, clams, and so on. Now, some might wonder how that's possible, seeing as Serbia in the modern times is, well, a landlocked country. But back in the day, during the Triassic and early Jurassic period, it was covered by the Tethys Sea. Now you might also wonder, if there was a sea covering the country, how was there a random little herbivore living there? Well, the answer is pretty simple. Not all of Serbia was underwater. One area was poking out, the Stara Planina area, which basically means that part of the country was an island, meaning during that time life was possible there. There could have been dinosaurs there, and there were, as we already know. During the late Jurassic period, the Tethys disappeared from the area, and the Parathethys Sea covered it instead, which is much smaller and covered a smaller general area, and it was a lot shallower. And also, it was anoxic, meaning it didn't have much oxygen in it. So, not much could live in it. Mostly just small clams and fish and similar invertebrates, which explains the whole lack of large marine animals that could have inhabited the area. Now that we have that general background to it, let's start talking about the one dinosaur that did live here and everything that's related to it. As stated previously, Phycodontosaurus was a small herbivorous dinosaur living in the Triassic period. It had an overall length of 1.2 to 2.5 meters, or 3.9 to 8.2 feet, and could be up to half a meter to 1 meter tall, 1.6 to 3.3 feet, with a weight of 11 to 22 kilograms, 24 to 49 pounds. It was one of the oldest dinosaurs ever found. The remains of it found in Serbia, as you could have guessed, were found in the Stara Plain area. The specific fossil that was found is a set of footprints, or more specifically, three sets of footprints. They were found by Professor Dr. Mikhailo Galicic and Professor Dr. Alexander Grubich. When exactly is a mystery, as different sources disagree, some giving a time during the late 80s, some giving early 80s, some giving early 2000s. So it's generally kind of unknown. The original study was published in the Zashta Prirode magazine, or Protecting Nature magazine, back in the year 2000. The footprints were a set of three different ones from three different individuals. One set was small, about 2 to 3 centimeters, another slightly bigger, 3 to 6, and the last one, which is just a single print, was 10 centimeters. In the words of the professors themselves, these footprints are unique for this part of Europe, but also the world. We should thoroughly study them and show them to the whole world. I also seriously suggest we make this amazing fossil discovery, as well as the whole of Sara Plena and its amazing biodiversity, a national park. Unfortunately, the professors couldn't fulfill their wish, seeing as that's the only publication of this find that exists. Nowadays, the Stara Planina area is a national park, but it's only become so very recently back in 2022. The current state of the tracks and the whole find in general is unknown. On a side note, trying to find this publication of Discovery in the Zashta Prirode magazine was impossible. I'm 90% or 99% sure it hasn't been digitized, and the only way I could find it is by specifically going and finding a live copy of the magazine, which is basically impossible. I'd have to like go to a library that has it and take it, but I have no clue how to do that. Uh, so I don't have any pictures of the find, which were, I think, in the original publishment, which is very unfortunate, but that's just the way it is. And that's about it for Serbian dinosaurs. There really isn't much to talk about, except for the one exception. Wikipedia does list Iliopteryx as a dinosaur found in Serbia, but that's just straight up a lie. I couldn't find anything about it being found in Serbia. It was found in Romania, which is, yeah, close, but it's just a completely different country, and it doesn't really make sense. Why it's listed there, I think it's just a fault of the website. But yeah, I do really wish the Staraplina area was more like searched in general and more stuff went more expeditions and just generally checking on the tracks and finding new stuff about them, but it just hasn't been. There's basically no paleontologists in Serbia, and the few that are here are primarily focused on geology, like geologists that also have some paleontology research under them, which, fair enough, but it's just kind of unfortunate. So that makes the Ficodontosaurus, well, the only known dinosaur in Serbia, which is a real shame. And yeah, that's all about it for this video. I don't know how to end it quite, but yeah, I just wanted to talk about it, showing them just, yeah, talk about this cool dinosaur I found and the one thing my country did for dinosaurs. And more specifically, what it did do, which is a lot. So yeah, thank you for watching if you made it this far. Yippee!